Welcome everyone, I'm Pat Mitchell. In this video, just like the thumbnail and description showed, I'm gonna show you a stock that has the potential to run immediately, like right now, starting Tuesday. It's gonna run an additional 500%. That is 5 times your money. That's incredible. I promise I'm gonna share the full ticker and trade plan with you in this video. Before I get into that, I wanna make sure that all of you are safe getting into these trades. So on Tuesday evening at 7:30 p.m., which is May 28th, I'm going to be doing a full sizing webinar with a live Q&A. It's going to be live on X, streaming on X, as well as YouTube. So make sure to be watching for that. If you can't make it live, don't worry. There will be a replay available on X, YouTube, and Facebook. You can follow me all there. I'll share my socials with you guys here in a bit. But I take my job seriously. First and foremost, I'm a day trader. Secondly, I am an educator and a coach. And my job when it comes to that is, like I said, I want to make sure you guys are safe in these trades. I don't want you guys taking unnecessary risks. So I'm going to show you in this video on this specific stock that has a potential to run an additional 500%, like next week, this upcoming week, like immediately. You guys got to make sure that you are not oversizing. So I'm going to show you where to stop out if it doesn't want to work, where you could potentially add size as well, which is always nice. And so we're going to get into the chart here in a minute, and then I'll share the ticker with you guys. Let me explain the trade plan first, and then we will go over what ticker it actually is. So let's get into the charts. Bear with me for a quick sec. So here is the chart so far. This is a setup that I love using. I love using this setup because, and I'm going to give you the mechanics of it for those that may not understand the mechanics of how these charts work. You may understand some technical support and resistance, but the actual mechanics of these charts it's so important to understand. If you understand that, you know when to enter, why you're entering, and what the potential of the stock is. So what we have here is lots of volume coming in, probably some news, right? I'm not a news trader. I am a straight technical trader. And it's very important to understand what type of trader you are. So when you're looking for these charts that have that big potential, what you want to recognize is first volume. So on this first day, you have incredible volume that it hasn't seen in a long time. That's telling me that there is a potential for shorts to get squeezed. Now, what we also have is a little bit of a wedge. So I'm going to draw a quick trend line here for you. Just something real simple. And you'll have to bear with me. I don't have a mouse. So I'm using my board. So you can see that we have a really nice wedge forming. Right? This wedge is important. So once we break this wedge, so let's say we open up right here, right where my cursor is, right? So if it breaks above that, this thing's going to start to squeeze. All of these shorts that have been shorting these tops, shorting these pops, especially on this day right here, this red day, a lot of shorts would have jumped in because a lot of these stocks, the cheaper stocks, they know they're garbage, and I'm going to pull back the chart, and you're going to see it's a garbage chart. It's sold off dramatically. But what you do have is shorts jumping in, and as long as you have volume there and enough shorts, this can really carry. And there's also other ranges on that chart, and that's what's going on here. So with this day breaking, once it breaks this, it will have no choice, none whatsoever, but to go essentially 5 times, 5x. That's 500%. And technically, when we work it out, it's more like it's almost 600%, but we'll call it 500% just to keep it nice and conservative, if you can call it that. So Tuesday morning, market opens up. If we are in this area, if we gap up, wait for a pullback into the previous close. If it holds that previous close, it's game on, guys. This thing's going to launch. It'll come up into trend, and it's going to start to ricochet in between trend and the previous close. That's what it's going to do. Once it builds up enough ranges, so top of range, pulls back, top of range, pulls back, top of range, pulls back. You're creating those three areas for shorts to get involved with intraday. And they will. Why? Because generally all shorts will just short shit because it's up. And that's a big, big mistake. And that's what's going to go on here. So once it breaks this trend, it will then pop straight up into highs. So Friday's highs, as well as this red day's highs, it will then pull back into trend. Now follow me what I'm saying, okay? I'm giving you each and every move that this stock is going to do once we break levels, okay? This is my natural movement theory. This is what I call natural movement theory. It's proprietary to Trick Trades as well as myself. It's something that I've come up with and studied over the years. And it's something that I will be doing a lot of. I'm going to be actually writing a book on natural movement theory here soon. And I think all retail traders, especially technical traders, will find it really interesting. It's a way to essentially know what the stock is doing before it does it. And it has no choice but to do it. I've been tracking this for the last 10 years. It works. So you just got to trust me on this one. So once it gets up to here, it will then push to this level here. This is our crucial level. Okay, right here where that cursor is. If it breaks that, and remember, we're already entered into this stock, it will have no choice but to then squeeze. This high will mean nothing. It will not matter anymore. There's not enough volume on that day combined with all of these other days. It will absolutely squeeze 100%. But actually, more like 500%. Okay, so what happens if we gap down? Well, if we gap down, there's a couple of areas that I want you guys to watch. I want you to wait for this trend. That trend line, come Tuesday morning, that price point will be about $2.74. I should actually mark out these levels for you. One sec. So we are going to enter into 272 upon a gap down. There's one more area here that I like that I would start edging into that position possibly. Oops. It can hold here, right in this 315 area. Now remember, we are dealing with wide range. This is very wide range from low of candle to highs. I mean, you're at probably 30, 40%, maybe even a little bit more. There's a lot of meat on the bone here. So even if we enter into the low of this trend at 272, 271, right in that area, and it comes up into the previous close, you have a potential to make, probably almost 50% your money right there. That's what I'm saying. This play is killer for that. No matter what it's going to produce. And especially if it can break back over that previous close. But if we gap up and it pulls into the previous close, take that. Take it. If it wants to pull back, give it a little bit of risk. Don't get crazy with it. Don't be holding it all the way down. Because if it breaks this level here at this 315-ish, if it breaks that, it will come into trend. So get out. Reset down here. Don't worry if it takes a couple of kicks at the cat, guys. A lot of traders, especially when they're new and they're heavily emotional, they're so worried about these trades not working immediately, and they're so scared to just take that initial loss that they're going to carve themselves and dig themselves a huge hole. Don't do that. Just get out of the trade and reset. We have two levels here, all right? What happens if we gap up? So if we gap up really big and it runs, let it go. The play is missed, okay? If we pull back and it tests this trend, and that trend, that level is 376. So I'm giving you all the potential outcomes now, okay? And this is what's really important. So these three levels are your potential entries. If it gaps way up, wait for the pullback into this trend at 375, enter. It's going to hold. If it doesn't hold, it's coming into the previous close. All right, so you have all of your potential outcomes now for your entries. Now let's start looking at this chart. Now, I want to actually get rid of all of these drawings. Now let's start looking at the chart. I'm going to start giving you guys some targets. So your main target on this one, your greedy target, is right here. Okay. So 24 bucks. So let's work out that percentage gain so then you guys can see that it is, in fact, what I say it is percentage-wise. So if you enter at that previous close, come up into that level, I got to move that over 1 sec. You're looking at 600%, 589%. Okay. Now, if 1 sec, let's see what that entry down in and around that trend would be. And here's your potential on that one. You're looking at 800%. 800% potential on this. If it gaps down and pulls into that lower trend level and you enter, hold it. Okay? That's 800%. So what I'm giving you is a gift. It will have no choice if it breaks that range. Like I said, right in here. Okay, let me get rid of that so then that line isn't all over the place. Right here. So if it breaks this, it will have no choice. It can bump its head somewhere in this area, right where my cursor is. So at a minimum, it's going to come to there. So let's say it only comes to there, and that's at 633. Let's check that percentage gain from previous close up into that area. It's 100%. So you're going to make 100% minimum on this trade. Now, if you wanted to get really fucking greedy with this thing, and I wouldn't, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to, there's other ranges that this thing can go to. It's already went about 100% or so. There's a lot more potential left. This thing is just getting cooking, okay? So if it breaks this, which is really hard to do, but let's say it goes like absolutely insane, there's probably a lot of shorts in this, and there's very high potential for it. If it does that, it can easily come into somewhere in this area at 80 bucks a share. Now, if it does that, obviously you just hit a massive home run, right? Don't go looking for that. Now I want to give you some targets on this. So the targets that I would have for this, let me grab it. First, let me get rid of, no, I will leave that because that is a target. So your target, sorry guys. Here. Here. It's going to be right in here. There's a volume zone. So you have 3 targets. So 556, 689, 968, and then the ultimate one at $24. Again, there is a potential, depending on entry, for 800% your money on this trade, guys. Now, for some of you that didn't cheat and didn't look at what stock this is, the ticker is LIDR. The next thing I want you guys to remember is on this trade, there may be low volume in the morning. You need to edge into this position. You do not need a lot of size on this. So some of you might be asking, well, how many shares should I take? You don't need a lot, guys. If you were to take 100 shares on this, with that type of percentage gain, you're laughing. You need to limit your risk and think of your risk. So don't load in it. You don't need 1,000 shares. You don't need 10,000 shares. What you need is 50 to 100 shares. If you guys take that, you're going to get a nice little bump. Never look for crazy home runs, but this is a potential home run on this one. Don't get carried away with your sizing. I never want to see people get hurt or blow up their accounts. Remember, this is something that, a lot of people don't think about. They don't think about the risk. They don't think about the downside of these charts and these trades. Remember, it doesn't have to work. It needs to squeeze above that. If it does, then it will go. Okay. So enter in the way I told you to enter in. You'll do just fine. Stop out if it doesn't want to hold those levels and keep continuing to watch it. Let's say Tuesday morning, it gaps way down. Continue to watch it. If that range, it starts coming back up where those shorts are in, it's going to squeeze. Again, this stock, LIDR, has the potential to squeeze 500 to 800%. Now, before you guys go, because I just gave you this sweet, sweet chart to look at, I want you guys to do me a favor. Follow me on X at TrickTrades1. I'm going to share the screen here and show you guys my socials. Follow them. I'm going to be releasing lots of free plays just like this. So there we go. You can follow me on X at TrickTrades1. You can also go into our free Facebook group, which is the Trick Trades Day Traders War Room. And of course, and probably most importantly, if you guys want to learn how to trade consistently and professionally, and you're tired of losing money, come to tricktrades.com. You not only get a full-blown strategy, so our entry strategy, you get a risk strategy, and as well now our sizing strategy that is designed to take you from a $2,500 account all the way to an $18,000 account in 5.5 months. We've reworked the numbers. We've recrunched the numbers because of the overwhelming success that we have had with our members doing this. And we've now lowered the amount of months to hit that $600 per day on average. So if you come join my program and you listen intently and you follow those directions, you will have financial freedom in 5.5 months. I know that sounds wild, but the proof is in the pudding, and it is working, and it's working incredibly well. So come to tricktrades.com, and thanks for joining me. I'm going to be doing quite a few of these videos in the near future about giving you charts that are going to present massive opportunities to start building some trust with the ones that are out there that may not be familiar with trick trades. I've been a day trader for a decade now. Don't forget that webinar I'm doing May 28th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I will see you there, guys. Adios.